wanted to add a second part to my constitutional law reform proposals. As a result of this report produced in 1987, probably close to $1 billion has been invested in this and nothing has been done about it. In particular, what I wanted to add is that the position of Governor-General in Australia ought to be chosen by the voters of Australia, by the citizens, in elections. Also, the position of Prime Minister, when it is added officially to the Australian Constitution, because it's not in there, that the federal lower house is to be governed by a federal executive council of politicians in the House of Representatives, and the position of Prime Minister is not currently stated in our Constitution, so it needs to be added. I propose that the position of Prime Minister in Australia is chosen by the people, chosen by the citizens. So when we have a federal election, you vote 156 politicians into the federal lower house, and in that ballot, in that each election every 3 years, that the position for Prime Minister, that there's a list of candidates provided in that election for people of the Federal Executive Council who want to be Prime Minister, and that list is put to the people for vote in the election. Also the position of Governor-General. So each federal election, people would vote for 156 representatives of the House of Representatives in the lower house. There would be a Federal Executive Council established, and out of that Federal Executive Council, under the current Constitution, that's what should be happening. Out of that Federal Executive Council, a Prime Minister is chosen, and also a Governor-General is chosen, not out of the political representatives, but chosen by the people. So in the voting of federal elections, you choose a House of Representative member for your electorate. Also on the ballot paper there would be provision for voters to vote, number one, for a person of their choice to be Prime Minister out of a list, and also vote number one for a person of their choice to be the Governor-General of Australia. That would mean that the Governor-General of Australia is chosen by the citizens, by the voters, and also the position of Prime Minister chosen by the voters out of a list on the ballot paper. That would ensure greater empowerment of voters in Australia, that they would have a much greater role, obviously, in choosing their Prime Minister and also choosing the Governor-General of Australia. We've seen recently, just this week, where federal politicians have just passed a law to give themselves political funding for their administrative costs in federal elections, $1 a vote. So it's evidence of more corruption. They're already getting an economic reward. If they get more than 4% of the vote, they are getting paid per vote in excess of 4% of the vote already, and now they're proposing another economic reward where they get paid $1 a vote for their administrative costs. So they are corrupt to the core. They cannot be trusted, Liberal Labor politicians, and they need to be voted out, because nothing will ever change in our nation. And I'm asking the Australian people to give your number one vote to someone else. I'll be in the federal election 2013, the Fremantle federal electorate. I'll be on the ballot paper with Mr Palmer's United Australia Party. They haven't officially released the names yet, so I won't talk too much about it, but I will be on the ballot paper. I'm asking for the voters in the Fremantle federal electorate for your number one vote to pursue a greater vision for Australia in the area of the economy and in particular education. I also have a great vision for the Port of Fremantle to promote the building of a new international passenger terminal for Fremantle, for the Fremantle Port, a separate terminal from the industrial port, just north of the industrial port. So an international passenger terminal for cruise liners. And it'll be a great economic project for the Fremantle federal electorate and the city of Fremantle. It'll create jobs, It'll increase economic activity for the city of Fremantle, and it will also increase, obviously, tourism and the benefits that come with that. So I want to talk more about that in another broadcast, but to have an international passenger port for Fremantle where international cruise liners can come to Fremantle from all over the world. And also, you know, Mr. Palmer probably want to bring his Titanic here. So it'll be a fantastic economic project for the Fremantle Federal Electorate. I have got funding ideas about how to fund it, and I will go through it. I'll talk another time about my vision for that international passenger. I'll talk more about my vision for the international cruise liner passenger terminal for the Fremantle port as a separate terminal from the industrial port. I'll talk about more of the details of that another time. Thank you very much.